Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey folks, Tom Vasel here with my top 100. We are now in actually the top 50. With me are two people whose opinions I value.
Garcia, that's a lie.
Sam Healey. Deception.
No, I do value them. It's how much.
Values it cheaply. 2 pennies for your thoughts.
A shilling, sir.
Now today there'll be a couple new games on the list, and one of the things that happens in my top 100s over the years, and that's why I do them each year, is sometimes you'll see a game pop on and then the next year it's lower or it's off. And that happens. There's nothing I can do about that. I don't always know what the staying power of a game is. I can't foresee that. So you'll see that happen occasionally where things will drop off. But I don't.
You also don't check your previous lists.
I don't.
When you make a new one.
Because I would be tempted to say, oh, well, I probably should put that on the top 100.
I agree, and that's a good way to do it, because I think if you see a title on there, even though you've forgotten about it, if the list reminds you of it, you're going to go, oh yeah, I guess I should put that back on. But if you have sort of dismissed it, then it should move on.
Well, here we go. All right, number 50 actually has been on the list ever since I've started it, and that is whatever the current name is. I think it's Hollywood Blockbuster, but my version is Traumfabrik, which is the movie auction game from Rainer Knizia. Okay. Yes, Rainer Knizia is not the king of theme. He's the enemy of theme. He attacks theme's doorstep.
This is actually not a bad.
It is not. Oh yeah, that's true.
This is not a bad thematic game for him, though.
But that's what I'm saying. This is kind of an odd game because it makes it. Now I have the pace-it-up version, and each version was different. Hollywood Blockbuster, I think, had parody names in it.
Right.
And there was another one too, Dream Factory. I forget the names of all the different versions of this, but the idea of making movies is fun, and this is actually one that. Very few games, a couple games came out. There's one coming out of Essen. There's one that came out last year at Essen 2 from the Hobby World about making movies. Yeah, it's a cool theme, and you think more people do it. Now, there's the licensing aspect of it, obviously, but I just like it, and so that's good. But the game itself, I love the idea of the auction mechanism where when you win an auction, you give the money, split it to the other players.
Okay.
So if you keep losing auctions, eventually you'll win one.
Right. I don't know. I mean, this is not one I've played, so I cannot
you haven't played this
speak
one?
Objectively about it. I haven't played it, but
I really think he'd like this one.
This seems like one of those games that is on your list because you're just dragging it so long. I don't know. When was the last time you played this game?
Within 6 months. Really.
And
within 6 months.
It's still like exciting.
Yeah, I really, really liked it.
That's crazy. I don't know. It just seems like the kind of game that is Again, I haven't played it, but it seems like the kind of game that is a middle-of-the-road bidding Euro game, which is great. I like those. I just like them for about a year, and then I'm kind of done with
that auction mechanic might...
I think you need to play this and see what you think.
We need to try that auction mechanic with Warehouse FC1.
We'll play this one.
Might be a fix for Warehouse.
Change the game?
No, it's not really a change of the game.
It is a change. I mean, Warehouse FC1 is designed that way.
Well, come on, man.
Anyway, let's keep talking about good games.
I'm just saying that auction mechanic.
But no, we'll have to play that one live sometime, see what you think of it.
All right, well, I'm on board.
Well, you were talking about good games. I think this game is great. It's been on my list for 5 years. I'm looking forward to the new expansion of it. I'm like 2 expansions behind, but that's because I only want to play the yellow ones and not the Asmati ones. And that is Innovation. All right. Yay!
Here's a lock with a ring in. Oh, meta.
Anyhow, Innovation is a game. Now, I like it best with 2, but I love the idea that it is this civilization building card game, but that does all these kind of crazy and wild things. And I think that's really cool. I really like it because I have to add the expansion in. Echoes of the Past, because if the expansion's not in, then I like it, but it probably wouldn't hit my top 100. The expansion adds a lot of cool things. You're never sure what's going to happen. It adds some neat mechanisms. I think it makes it a much more solid game. Again, I like the yellow version of this because it has nice artwork on it as opposed to the stock, the stark stock pictures that are
The
in the
ugly
original
one.
one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying not to say ugly, but yeah,
It's
that's
really
right.
ugly. Also boring. I've never played the expansion, so I cannot speak to that. Making
No, but I will say this, I don't think if you hate the original game, I don't think you would like the
this
expansion.
game is so random and just bad and not fun.
You may say the game's random, but I think I would beat a new player every time. I really do.
Because they probably can't deal with all these ugly icons staring them in the face. Splay the cards this way. Ooh.
You know, when they first told me about the game, I was like, oh, I bet you in like 5 years, every game will be using the term splay. That did not actually happen. But anyway, I still do love it. Innovation. This game is, technically it's new on my list. Not really though, because it's been on my list for like ever since I've started. It missed 1 year, but that is Beyond Balderdash, but I'm now changing it to just Balderdash because the current version of Balderdash simply is Beyond Balderdash.
Right.
They finally wised up to the fact that Beyond Balderdash was light years better than Balderdash, and so they added it. And I really like the new version of Balderdash because it adds those laws, which are hilarious. You know, in Massachusetts, it's illegal to sit down with and then you fill in the blank.
Right.
And we played this one live on the show, and it was a blast. We'll certainly be playing it live on the show again, as long as there's no law against playing what music. No, having a party without.
No, you can't have a party in Detroit without.
And you wrote something about some band that.
Yeah, Kiss without playing
At least one Kiss song.
one Kiss song.
Yeah, that game's awesome, and it definitely deserves to be on this list, man. Love ball.
You're not as big of a fan of it as we are, I think.
No, I like coming up with stupid stuff like that though.
Yeah, I love it.
It's one of those party games where I never care if I win, ever.
Right.
Well, halfway through the game, I always just sort of don't really.
Yeah.
I stop trying.
You don't try to win. You try to make other people laugh.
Yeah. Eventually, you're like, score. Who
It's
cares?
more of an event or an activity than it is a game to me. So that's why I wouldn't include it on a
Awesome.
games list.
Well, I still like it. Anyway, Balderdash or Beyond Balderdash. Number 47 is a tie. And it's been a tie for the last 4 years because I think these games are pretty much equally fun for me to play. And that is Twilight Struggle and 1989. They're very similar games in how they play. If I was forced to keep only one, I would probably pick Twilight Struggle because I like the huge theme of the fall of communism or the fight between communism.
Then that's the one that should hold this place.
Well, but I think 1989 is slightly better mechanically. You haven't played it.
But
Well, that's slightly better than it's higher on the list.
But I can't tell you which one's better.
You just said
Try harder.
that if you had to choose one, it would be Twilight Struggle. So that's the one that should hold this place.
And you also said the other one's mechanically more sound, so it should be that one who holds this place.
Shut up, Z.
I feel like there's two
you
guys on
got
my
that
shoulder.
I got this shoulder. All right?
Hey, buddy, get rid of that game.
Burn it.
Now, you've never played Twilight Struggle, and I feel pretty confident you will go to your deathbed never having played Twilight Struggle.
Correct. And on my deathbed, I shall go. I'll grab someone and go, thank you for not teaching me that game.
It's actually not that long of a game. You might actually enjoy
No,
it.
he would not.
It's just I don't like the theme. I don't like the look. I don't like anything.
Why do you like the theme?
No, I don't.
Cold War?
I don't like politics themed anything. Pretty
Well,
much.
yeah, but this is more of a. This is less politics, I think, than it is more historical. It's not like I'm
Also
sitting there.
Not necessarily a theme I like.
I've never played the game with somebody who was like,
say you're never
I
gonna
hope
like
communism. You know, like I played it with like a diehard communist. You know.
Just say you're never gonna like it, Z. Just say it.
I probably will never
Anyhow,
play it.
this game is ranked number 1 on Board Game Geek.
I have to play it then.
No, you don't. But that's mostly because the people who don't like it, who would not like it, never play it.
Right.
But it's on my list at 47. This top 10 is going to be Sam's least favorite on my list, I think. Well, no, he'll like the next one, but this one he will not like. A robot game, Robo Rally. Been on the list since I've started it. It's actually been very high on the list at some point. Now, I understand why Sam doesn't like it because his carefully laid plans are messed up by someone else's less carefully laid plans.
No. Non-carefully laid plan.
Okay, well that's...
Let's leave this word.
Oh, you play with that guy.
Well, okay, but I still love the game. I love the idea of programming. I love the idea of moving around. I would actually, if I could get my hands on the license, I'd put this under Dice Tower Essentials. If I can,
Robo Rally?
I emailed Richard Garfield and told him I would do it.
And he said, "Who are you?"
Well, we'll keep the rest of the conversation down, okay? No, but I think it's a fun racing game. I love the idea of programming. Other games have done different things with programming. Sometimes they do the programming part a little bit better than Robo Rally, but they still haven't produced that feel of just running those robots around, and it's crazy. And the chaos part that Sam hates, I think is super fun, and I have the same feeling about that as I do with Galaxy Trucker, where I'm like, oh, I got pushed off? Well, now let's see what happens. It's hilarious. Oh, look what I just did. And you don't like that. I do.
You and Sam have different
objective-minded.
definitions of hilarious.
This is my objective. I need to get right there. What are you doing, person that is next to me?
All right, let's get to a game Sam likes. Okay, well, this game has been on the list since it has come out, which I think is 10 years now, or it's close, and that is Small World. And actually, this isn't affected by the new deluxe version, which was very nice and wonderful.
Too nice.
Because actually, Small World was on my list last year at 43, it's at 45, so it's pretty much in the same
You
spot.
can't say it's too nice. It's
Yes,
too
I can.
expensive.
Oh no, it's too nice. If I'm playing a game and I'm worried that I'm going to break the piece that I am moving, it's too nice.
No,
That's not a game that I'm going to have in my
it's
collection.
too fragile.
So you're saying if I had offered
don't
it
know
to
what
you,
the
you
word
wouldn't have taken
nice
it.
means,
You would
I
have
think.
taken it.
Huh?
You would have taken it if I
No,
had.
it's too big.
Okay, well, that's
Too big, it's too nice, it's too expensive. It's not something that fits my game.
it's a convention type game, and that's why
Right, but
it's
nice.
No, it is. I'm not saying
But I agree that it's too big.
It makes
it's
me
too
nervous.
much money.
It makes me nervous to play the
Too
game.
heavy, that's for sure.
Because I'm afraid I'm going to break something.
okay. That's fine, but the point is, I didn't put Small World Deluxe unless I just
Oh,
put
you did?
Small World.
Just Small World.
Small World is a fine game. It works really well, and it's one of the games I think you both agree with me on. You
Yes.
both like Small World.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You're being a troll. Shut up.
No, I do.
No,
like
he was
it.
like, yes, I like it.
I just can't. I can't pick on him if I like the game. Put innovation on that list again.
Anyway, there are some people who think that the original game Vinci is better. I can't even imagine that.
Winky?
The fantasy feeling here is cool. The different races provide a lot of cool powers, and whether you play the original one or Underground or whatever, I think it plays very quickly, and I love the fact that it plays just as well with 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
And very few games do that.
Yeah.
Is Underground going to show up later?
No, I
just consider that an expansion?
it's pretty close to the same game. And if I did pick one over there, I'd pick Small World because it's a little brighter, and I like the brightness of the.
Underground. What is it called?
Yeah, it is Underground.
Is
It's
called
Underground.
Small Underground.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Underground. You may notice that there are no longer Arkham Horror is no longer on my list as of last year. That's because this game has replaced it, and that's Eldritch Horror, which is a game that if you had never played, I would say Z, you'll never play this game. But he has played it.
I'll never play that game again.
Eldritch,
You got me twice, Eldritch. You got me twice.
Eldritch Horror is a lot of fun for me because I love adventure, and Arkham was cool. It had that horror Cthulhu thing, and as much as I yell about Cthulhu showing up in too many games, I do like the mythos. It's a cool mythos, and I liked Arkham Horror. But when you add that mythos to a cool globe-trotting adventure feeling, really fun for me.
Yeah.
And I also really like my copy of Eldritch because I've really blinged it out. I got the painted miniature characters and
really?
things. Yeah,
Oh man, I might play it again with the cool stuff in it.
just lied.
Liar.
Can't believe
You almost got me 3 times, Eldritch.
So anyway, really fun, somewhat long game, but I still enjoy it. Looking forward to playing the new expansions for it, Eldritch Horror. My next game on the list has been on the list for 3 years, although it's been out for 4, and that's just because...
That first year was really bad. That was an awful game the first year.
No, the first year I just started playing it, and I actually thought this game's been out longer than 4 years, but it hasn't, and that's Lords of Waterdeep. Lords of Waterdeep,
Oh, never mind.
especially
Still a bad game. That's what I meant.
Lords of Waterdeep, especially with the expansion, is just one of those worker placement games that I just love. I love the feel of it. I love the ease of play. I like worker placement games as it is. If you notice, there's a ton of them on the list.
Right.
And this one just plays really smoothly. And I love how the expansion shakes things up a little bit, and that no longer is everybody doing the same thing. Now we're doing more different, and that corruption adds a really cool mechanism.
Expansion is mandatory?
You mean like, or they'll put you
I'm
in
asking,
jail?
Asking
You mean,
your
will I
opinion.
play only with the expansion?
Would you always play with the expansion, or do you think you should?
The only time I would not play with both parts of the expansion is maybe if I'm teaching someone who I think can't handle it. And that would not be a gamer. It would be someone, it would be as if I was using it as a gateway game.
Game group though.
Game group, definitely I always play with both. And not just the expansion, but both parts.
Agreed.
Really, really like the expansion. I think it would
actually
be
never play with the expansion.
it would be
Played-
lower on my list without the expansion.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right, so that's Lords of Waterdeep. Another brand new game to the list. And I knew this was going in my top 100 the moment I played it.
Ooh.
These guys do not like it as much as I do, but I like to wear my cowboy hat when I play a game. And this one is Flick 'em Up. Another dexterity game. I just really like this one.
I'm on board with this one.
Oh, so you are liking this one. You were not as big of a fan of it.
It's okay. It's a
Because
flicking
Z
game.
hates fun.
No, I like fun.
I like it like it's just a flicking game.
No,
when
this
half
is-
his games are like, oh, that's just a card game. Come on now.
This is a theme. This is a theme that I think
I
fits
just
well
mean
with
like
the whole
the-
flicking mechanic.
Right, I
where
guess
where
so.
I don't think the dungeon roll one, Catacombs. I don't think the theme fits as well with the flicking mechanic as this one does. Flicking a bullet across the town scene, trying to hit somebody in the head with it, that makes
That's
sense.
fun. Again, my issue is now you're right. I like silly stuff. I also enjoy clarity in my games. This game takes flicking and then gives you all this stuff that's there for no reason. Oh, there's a cactus. Why?
Oh, come on
And then
now.
like all the managing of like
It's because there
flip
were
over his hat
there
and you
were-
knew he went already. It's like
there
well,
were cacti in the Old West.
I know there were also
That's why it's there.
trains. Where's the wooden train that's this big?
Expansion.
$100 wooden train. I think it's fine. I'm not knocking the game. Okay, I've enjoyed playing it. I just don't think
He's
it's top
knocking the
100
choice.
material.
is knocking.
It is definitely top. I love it.
all right.
Love it, love it, love it. All right. My number 41 has been on the list for 5 years. It actually debuted at number 9. It dropped down some because I don't play it as much. Strong theme flavor, and that's Star Trek Fleet Captains. I like the universe of Star Trek.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still on my list, though. It's still on my list. We'll see where it ends up after a couple years, but I still think it's really fun for me. I should have put this down on the top 10 exploration games because it does have a strong exploration feel as you go and
Is
look
this
for
the
things.
Knizia game?
No.
I don't know. I always get the Star Trek games confused. I
Troll
haven't-
is strong.
No,
in this
I'm
one.
not trolling right now. I just don't, I've never played any of them, and I get them all confused. There's one Knizia one, Star Trek something, right?
That was the cooperative one. This one is ahead. Yeah, the Knizia did a Star Trek away mission. Oh no, that's the new one. Anyway, he did a Star Trek game where you were playing all as a cooperative game.
Okay.
Okay. This one
Not
is a head-to-head game.
Okay.
Or you can play with 3 players if you add one of the expansions. There's Romulans and Dominion that can be
The
added.
cube people, right?
And in this one, you have a bunch of ships and you have different missions. And the missions.
Cube people, right? The cubes. What isn't that from?
That's the board.
the board.
Oh, I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know Star Trek stuff.
And let me explain the game.
Like-
So you go around and you accomplish missions, and you can fight or you can not fight. You can do pretty much anything you've seen in the Star Trek movies, and it's like a whole season of
Okay.
Star Trek in a game.
Okay.
Because you go here and I found this. I remember that from that episode, and different things will happen.
Got it.
So that's that, and that is the end of today's 10. I've gotten some garbage from both sides, but it should get better, right? Now we're in the top 40.
I think we're littering the garbage evenly.
I think we're being fairly
Throughout
clean with our
each
garbage
installment.
disposal.
Yes, we're doing pretty well.
Well, in the next top 10, we have, I think, 4, 5.
4 garbage games?
1, 2, yeah, 5 of the games in the next top 10 are new to the list.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they were garbage.
Wow, is this Cult of the New? Maybe not. Come back and watch.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.